Hi, my name is Henrik Heggland, and I'm the Managing Director for the logistics software company Konciv. So first and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time to join the joint talk between myself and Jonas Wahl in Norsea. So Jonas will be talking about how they in Norsea integrated LoRa technology into the Konciv platform for managing the last mile logistics on their supply bases. But to kick things off a little bit, I wanted to share our experiences and thoughts from a software vendor perspective when it comes to integrating IoT into logistics. Well, Konciv as a company, we pride ourselves in delivering a very flexible and configurable platform which can support both shorter supply chains like managing yards or a pool of containers to larger supply chains where you manage and track assets moving across the globe, to even managing people logistics, both when it comes to office logistics or in industrial settings, knowing which people moves in and out of different areas. So of course, with the flexibility that we deliver in our platform, we work with a wide, again, array of different tracking technologies, being barcodes, being GPS-based sensors, being RFID. There's a wide array of different sensors that we need to apply within our projects and for our customers. But when it comes to IoT, for us as a software company, and being the front-end software, we kind of break the IoT chain into four pieces. First and foremost, you have the sensor, the tracker that you mount onto whatever you want to track. You then have the network, the carrier of the message being either the public network, LoRa as a good alternative, and even satellite-based networks as well. And there's different vendors and providers of that. The third part is the message carrier, as we like to say, which manages devices. They consume the raw device data and makes that information available for our front-end software to integrate with. With kind of this chain within IoT, it's and being in the space of tracking stuff, there's mainly three things that are important for us and when we are talking to our customers. It is the speed of innovation, how quickly are manufacturer providing new type of technology, new ways of obtaining, for example, position. A second part is the ability to control the infrastructure. In a lot of different use cases, you can rely on the public network and so on, but in a lot of use cases, you see the need to kind of have better control of the access points, the antennas, and so on, for obtaining a good IoT implementation where we can consume the information from. And the third one, and maybe the most important one for us as a front-end software provider, is the actual messaging service that the devices that we choose are available and integratable into a messaging platform that makes it easy for us to consume it into our software platform. Seeing that we work with so many different types of devices and IoT alternatives, for us to easily integrate that data into our platform without moving very long down into the stack is important for us. So in the Norsea project, which Jonas will shortly talk to you about, that has been done through the TTI platform, enabling us to do a quick integration without us having to go into all the different details about the messaging support for the actual device. That makes it more quicker for us to implement, easier for us to maintain. And with those short words as an introduction, I will leave you to Jonas to talk about the actual use case. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jonas from Norsea. Thank you for letting me talk to you all today and elaborate on how we in Norsea have utilized LoRa technology in our daily operations. I will briefly walk you through the government project of digitizing our supply bases and how we capture data in operation with the objective of being safer, smarter, and greener. So this is Norsea at a glimpse. We are present along the Norwegian coast, in UK, in Denmark, with the majority owner being Wilhelmsen. Norsea owns and operates offshore supply bases. This means that everything going offshore on a vessel passes through one of our bases, that being groceries, chemicals, or drill pipes for an offshore campaign. Most of the time, this is standardized in a container or in a bundle of pipe. In Norsea, we always seek to make operation on these bases safer, smarter, and greener. And the project where LoRaWAN was a part of the solution that was initiated as a means of improving upon these principles. Relevant questions were and still are: how long have a customer stored their assets on the quay? Where is it on this 4-kilometer long base? And how can we, in a quantitative manner, show to ourselves and our customers that we do what we do as safe, smart, and green as possible? Long story short, we had to make the bases live with moving pins on a map. And for that, we had to capture the data of our operation. The solution is part-wise obvious. To the left, you have a forklift lifting a pair of what we call a pipe rack. These are heavy cold steel, usually carrying pipes. And on this particular base, we have 250 of these moving around or sitting still for a long time. And to have a live base, we had to track these and the load they are carrying. And make no mistake, these pipe racks never leave the base. They are in a controlled, defined area all the time, which is ideal for a LoRaWAN setup. So we did a POC before the summer last year with some simple criteria for the sensors, where the most important thing was to have a battery that will last at least a year, also through a cold Norwegian winter. Off-the-shelf batteries, that would be preferred. But I will leave it to Henrik Heggland from Konciv to elaborate on how we use their platform and software as an endpoint and interface for tracking this data. But we use GPS LoRaWAN tracker to trace our internal assets and, in this case, pipe rack. The result is an IoT case where operation is supported by addressing the pain points of locating forgotten load carriers, saving time and thereby fuel. In other words, cutting cost. We can now also use to capture data for documentation for billing. So we actually have a solution that is reducing risk, cutting costs, and generating revenue. That is pointing back to the basic principles. Always work towards a safer, smarter, and greener base. Thanks.
Thank you, Jonas, for your introduction to the LoRa implementation at Norsea. As an ending note, I just wanted to touch quickly upon a challenge that many companies meet when introducing IoT into their operations, Norsea included. And that is the task for implementing trackers and managing them. So if you have several thousand devices that needs to be attached in the field, how do you streamline that process? So what we ended up doing in the Norsea case was that all devices that was purchased was pre-registered in the TTI device management, so that we just created a small mounting app so that Norsea could go into the field, scan the tracking device, search for the item that they want to attach to it in the Konciv platform, and do the mounting directly into the field. So it's not so much about what technology you use or what software you use, but it's a message about one also needs to consider What additional work do you introduce when introducing IoT, and how do you actually streamline that? So this was just one example of how we did it in the Norsea case. There's probably many more possibilities out there. But again, from both me and Jonas, we wish you the best of luck with your IoT implementation, and feel free to reach out to both me or Jonas if you have any questions on the Norsea implementation or our takes on implementing IoT into last mile logistics. Thank you.